call the meeting to order at 6:08. In attendance, Chairman Rogers.
Alderwoman Smith.
Comptroller Lewis Williams.
I want to get an opportunity to go over the bills list.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I also did earlier today, but I want to go over and make sure. Schools under Department, Legal Department, 105, Montana Welch LLC, noticed that they did some collective bargaining and expenditure. They do negotiations for contract
They
negotiations.
do all the labor work.
Okay, that's what I figured I wanted to ask. Notice now, general group at 84,000, is that be for the resurfacing of 155th Street?
They working on a number of grant projects.
Grant project.
Yes.
Do you mind looking at the bills list for August 26th?
Pretty much know who's getting paid.
Okay. Yeah, no, you gotta talk to me. Under Department 161, miscellaneous, there's an expenditure here for Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Is that for open enrollment?
No, that's all the health insurance.
Everybody?
Then we allocate it, yes.
But open enrollment is occurring in the month of September?
Yeah, generally does, yes.
No, that's under, just said, Department 161, miscellaneous appropriations. Okay. Yeah. If you look at, under the same department, there's a line item for CCMSI.
That's the third party administrator who pays all the insurance companies.
That's what that is.
It's been on many times.
Yeah, I've seen them, I just was curious.
No, it's not, no problem at all.
Chair, do you, have any questions, Mr. Williams? In regards to this bills list?
Just want to confirm, numbers
when they clean up the closet, we refund. It really doesn't belong on the bill list, but we just put it there exclusively. Because it's easier to leave them on the bill list than go through them to leave them, and
Right.
turns out somebody wasn't responsible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another one was for the outside services for Erie,
Areas,
so.
that's
whenever
under
we get
water
sewer-
17?
Right.
Yeah.
With sewer, so whenever we have a sewer blockage, our big services that we use to do that.
When we don't have the equipment,
That's what I was.
they do sewer and water.
Okay.
Because sometimes, for instance, we do not have anywhere near the deep streets,
Yeah.
the dead streets,
Yeah.
Dixie highways, Broadway, Austin. Those sewers are deeper than we have the equipment to be able to go.
Ms. Williams, I know we have a sewer jet that jets
Uh-huh.
out sewers. I know it stays in the shop all the time.
It does.
Is-
Don't remind me.
Is it operable now?
I don't do that ask Rick.
Okay, that's one of the things I'll ask. Okay, anything else?
That's what I want to confirm, because we don't have the equipment, that's why we have to contact our.
And like I said, generally, it's the larger mains and stuff, where the sewers are deep.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
Motion to ratify August 26th bills list. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None. Let's move on to September 9th.
Now, make that,
Pardon?
that was small.
It's smaller than the first one. Yeah.
Only one in the same way. Must be how they scan.
I think so. I thought we-
All right, you look under Fund 17, Water Fund, there's a outside contractor, M.E. Simpson Company, for conducting leak and line locations.
Yeah. Again, we don't have the equipment. We've always used Eddie Simpson to identify the lines, the shut-offs.
Yeah, this is very short.
Kind of on top of each other.
Anything? Motion to send these bills lists to, complete council for ratification. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None? Thank you all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out. We're gonna open up this portion of the meeting for public comment. Just like for you to state your name, state your comment. We're gonna keep it down to, we got time, we keep it to 3 minutes.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Sharon McGee. You mentioned resurfacing 150.
Actually, they're doing it from Park Street. Let me back up. This isn't for questions and answers right now, but it's on 155th.
Where we welcome to get questions answered.
Okay. You can come to City Hall, submit your questions to the mayor's office. They'd be more than happy to answer your questions. This is just for comment here though, this evening.
raise a question too. You guys need to hurry up and get the community hubs, finished. I'm not 100% sure what they are for, what are the intended purposes. When I first heard about it, it's supposed to be a community center. Now I'm hearing that it's supposed to be a place for the police to sit. I don't think that was a good place to spend $1.2 million to have a place for the police to sit. We need some parks, we need some streets, we need some sidewalks. So maybe some of y'all go back there and have them to submit, some of those bills to you ratify. Like when they gonna come to the community, 155th is, that's just when do you come up to on the fourth ward? Don't too much get done in the fourth ward. When is some of this money coming to the fourth ward? So that's my comment right there.
It's a good one. Thank you.
Finance committee, what can we expect, or this is a statement, we'd like to see the minutes. As you know, when we were on the committee together, Alderman Rogers, I would write the minutes. And today, if somebody just newly moved into the city of Harvey, they wouldn't be fully aware of all that you've done to host. I think you're the only committee thus far who's hosted actual meeting that chairs it. So I think it would be just really enlightening because we've been following suit of what city council does. How we go and we approve the minutes, but if we don't have anything to reflect back on, we don't know where we come from, we really don't know where we're going. So I would advise, it would be great if Alderman Smith could take the minutes and then those could be provided on the website. I think we made some awesome updates to the website, but that's even awesome. That's not a word, but that would be just great
I understand.
to have that intel. Everything, was approved in administrative record. So thank you for hosting the finance committee meeting,
Well,
but we need some minutes so that we can have a reflection. I do have one, go ahead. I see, when I see that from all the minutes side, I see that there are about $9,000 on the bills list for refunds coming back to our here. And one of which, and I'm asking this because, I'm just all about equity and an equitable process. I know you put in for your automatic reimbursement. I don't know if you got it, and I'm gonna assume you have. But as you know, Comptroller, we've discussed this. And I'm just wondering, and for the record, when will I be able to get my monies back, about $19,000 I've spent since April 26th of 2023. And I've yet to receive a single cent. But then I see a tool on here for about $5,700 that's gonna be reimbursed, one tool. And perhaps it's gonna be used to benefit the third ward or the city of Harvey in general. But it's about a $5,700 piece of equipment. I've done about 50 events since I took office May 8th. And I'm doing everything out of my pocket. And I shouldn't have to do that, but I'm not gonna stop serving the community food because that's what we're supposed to do. So just trying to get some justice, around things of that sort. Where exactly or when could the expectation of, maybe even a tentative date could be put out there to learn about what are the next steps in that financial process?
That's a wonderful question. I wish I could answer it. And you're right, I am waiting on money too. So, but that's something that's dealt with between the mayor's office and the comptroller. So I'm pretty sure that the mayor is pulling all strings on that. So you could probably pose that question to the mayor.
I want to ask that Alderwoman Chapman did a great job last summer getting some funds towards an excellent block party that we had on my street. To my knowledge, she still hasn't been reimbursed, and I know rather recently we got some information because the city
Just a minute, sir. We'd like for you to state your name.
Ryan.
Ryan
Yes.
Sawowski. Okay, go ahead and finish it, Tommy.
So we saw that former second ward Alderman Tolbert had apparently gotten a huge pay increase that was paid, as well as I don't know if it was this year, last year, got some like back due money paid to her, which is fine. But then again, just as a Sycamore resident, I'm extremely displeased and saying, you guys need to answer to that because you're in the majority voting for Clark, so you can't keep putting everything on him when it's convenient. And I'm like, she contributed $400. That's not supposed to come from her money. Now we had a great event, but that's last summer. And Tolbert's getting paid for stuff, he's not even an alderman anymore. So I'm just like, what in the hell is happening? And I don't hear any answers, just like last week. But you guys are in the majority. So if you don't like something the mayor's doing, or if you're saying you don't have the answers, then my question would be, or my demand would be, it's 4 against 2. You know how to vote against my alderwoman when it's convenient for you, when you want to shut her up. So if you don't have answers, to get answers, just vote 4 against 2. And she can get her questions answered, I can get mine answered, she can get hers, everybody can. So I don't understand why you guys don't use that. You have the majority. You get any answers possible. Because otherwise we're gonna come here every finance meeting and be asking the same questions. And then I just feel like an idiot when people say, oh, how's things going at Harvey? And I'm like, oh yeah, wait, what? Your alderwoman she hasn't been paid? She does all these events out of her own pocket. Like, it's embarrassing. I know a lot of politicians in other towns, like the people like would be protesting, you know what I mean? So I try for her. I'm like, this woman, she has her own expenses. She can't keep doing this. I mean, this is ridiculous. And we know all the people have gotten reimbursed. I just had to add that. And then the other concern was, I still don't see any agenda. I don't see any bills list, and nothing was put online. So I know you guys said, you and Ms. Smith did ask some questions, but we have no idea what the bills lists are. So we have no idea about anything. So we're coming here, I'm just trying to record and interact with some residents, but we have no idea what you're talking about. So we've got to have online and or on paper. When I go to other towns for committee meetings, stuff is there, so people can actually ask important questions. We don't even know what to ask.
I was gonna say something very similar, that how are we to be informed if we have, Glennis Watson.
Yes, ma'am.
How are we to be informed if we have nothing to inform us? We can't, as Ryan said, can't ask intelligent questions because we have nothing before us. And we voted on stuff that we have voted on, my money being spent, and we have no say-so in what was done, what was deliberated on. We don't have, I mean, I heard something about, was it the Blue Cross Blue Shield that was reallocated to miscellaneous expenses? And I have a real problem with that, because, you know, that's not an adequate category for any kind of government expenditures. I'm sorry, it's just not. So to back up what Mr. Sinowski said, you know, we need something. If you're not gonna make it available in hard copy, make it available online. We can print it out ourselves, but then that way we can peruse it and see, you know, what you're talking about, what you're deliberating on.
Was there an agenda for today's meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
It's online.
Oh,
It
it's
is
online,
printed,
Dawn.
Okay, Mr. Ryan, you want to finish?
No, I have another question. I saw in the, and you might not even be the correct one, but I saw that you guys had approved with the water bill. You get the little list of things that have been approved, that you guys have voted on. So one thing I saw on there was, it said that now, if you get a ticket in the city of Harvey, you will no longer go to Markham. So is Harvey gonna be holding court here? Is that how that's gonna work? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but we're not at liberty to answer any questions.
Oh, you don't-
This is just for comment.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Well-
ma'am.
Well, I mean, when y'all put it on the sheet of
When-
paper,
when-
it's not very explained.
I have an open door policy, okay? I'm very candid and very transparent.
But I'm saying,
If
you
you'd
voted
like-
on it,
If
but.
you'd like to talk to me after this forum here, but this is an official finance meeting.
Okay.
After the regular meeting, if you want to ask me a question, I'll be more than happy.
Okay, I'll have that same question for you can answer after.
Sounds good. I'll be more than happy to
Okay.
answer.
Thank
As
you.
well as yours, and yours, and yours. Okay, so, yeah, if you want to ask me that, but I just can't do it right now.
Okay,
And I don't even want to go into detail because the regular city council members aren't even aware. So it would be remiss of me to
Yeah,
to
you
open
guys
it
are
up for
aware
the
because
public
yeah,
and
you're
answer
aware.
questions to
You
them.
all voted for it,
Yeah,
so
right.
you're all, it's already
yeah.
voted
No, I know
for.
what you're talking about is in the past,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Any other questions?
So, more so
Oh,
a
excuse me,
statement.
Ms. Chapman, you already had your
No, let
question.
her, I give my time to her, let her talk.
Go ahead, Ms. Irvin.
Oh, you
No,
can
go
only answer
ahead.
one question? Is it only one question? Is that the rule, only one question?
One
No,
question,
but I-
yeah, we, 3
One
minutes,
question.
we weren't gonna bounce
No,
all
we
over
have,
the
we
place.
have a total, we have about 32 minutes.
32
We got
minutes.
plenty of time.
No, it's 3 minutes per question.
But honestly, Alderman,
You
until
know,
that's written down.
and to be honest with
Just to
you,
be
you know, a lot of
verbally
people said, don't, you should only do it in 2 minutes. I said, no, if you
Well,
have the
well,
decency
3
and these
minutes.
residents that you really want to come
Wherever they
out,
are.
okay,
Thank God
then
they
I'll
need
say give them 3 minutes. Give them the 3 minutes.
Well, you know what, that would just be following it. So just so we're aware, committees are like a subsection of city council.
Mhm.
So you get 180 seconds in a regular city council meeting, you get the same in a committee. A committee is so that the people can have input. Actually, everything.
We're not here to debate that.
Oh, it's not a
If- if-
debate, it's a statement.
Mr.
No, it's
This
just a
gentleman
statement.
here,
I'm
this
just
gentleman said that
enlightening.
you can
Thank
have his
you.
minutes. Go ahead, I got time.
And
That's
so,
state
and
law,
so I'm
that is
actually,
not-
I'm actually
Yeah.
just enlightening, our constituency, so they're from the 4th ward, from the 3rd ward, the 2nd ward, from the 2nd ward. I'm just enlightening them so they know the functions of
Procedures.
You as the chairman, her as the member, have a ton of, power in your rightful position as the chairman. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking down what exactly the chairman and the responsibility of hosting the committee and what the residents can do. So typically, things will go through the finance committee and then come to the floor to be presented to the councilman for a vote. That's typically how it goes. But those are the procedures, and so that's why it's so imperative that all legislative bodies or governing committee bodies host meetings, because until that happens, nobody would ever be aware of any community happenings. But what I was gonna make a statement about was, if you could, from a finance, just tell us about your time in Vegas. I see that we got some reimbursements here for that trip, but I personally wanna know, what great things from the ICSC conference could we maybe expect from a retail standpoint, and that's specifically finance? What could we be on the lookout for? What exciting things maybe were notated on your behalf, or even Alderwoman Smith's behalf, as you both attended? What could we notate from those trips that could be fruitful? And just so everyone's aware, we'll have a Q3 meeting tomorrow that is presented by the Intero Group. Right, it is a closed meeting, it's for individuals that work within the city of Harvey and for the councilmen, but they're gonna be providing Q3 updates on what the capital improvement looks like here in the city of Harvey. So his name is Randall Steffens, I believe, and I am extremely excited. That's here tomorrow from 12 to 1:30, and I'll be here, I hope you all will too. But go ahead, I'd like to know more about, beyond the Vegas piece, just what the ICSC conference entails, and maybe what we could expect as a community to be coming back here to the city.
Well, first of all, Alderwoman, thank you for your question, but I'm not here to answer questions in regards to the Vegas trip or the ICSC conference. These, you know the format for getting questions answered. The mayor's made it plain on several occasions. You can put it in writing, you can call, you can come up, you can email, you can even text. But this is not the forum right here. So,
Are those
I
your
just have to
rules?
interject. I have a problem with that. We've done all those things for months now, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Has anyone gotten an answer? I've never gotten an answer. So what we're being told is a big, F you, because we don't ever get questions answered. So we just want our questions answered. We've emailed, we've made appointments at City Hall, right? Backing up here, residents. We've done all that stuff. We've had doors closed in our faces. We've had unanswered emails. We've had unanswered calls. So we're being told, hey, F you, we're gonna spend your money, but we're not gonna answer any questions. You're saying it in a nice way, but I'm translating, because that's what we experienced, correct?
And
I mean,
honestly,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Alderman, that was said from the executive level, from the legislative level. We don't, even from the executive level, you put that in writing and sent it to us back in February. You have not done or completed that. So in this body right now, that can't necessarily be upheld because that's not put on paper for us to follow. That's not a procedure that you set forth and that you all sat here and voted on.
No, I'm speaking in terms of the procedure that goes forth when you need to get a question answered. It has to go through the mayor's office first. It doesn't come through the office first. I answer questions all the time, every day, for my residents in the 6th Ward. Okay, they call me and I have tons of answers. Okay, but this is a question. I'm sorry, not a question. This is a public comment portion of the meeting. I welcome your comments. I welcome you to come out and participate in local government. But right now, we're not going to answer any
So
questions.
will you answer the question like you'll answer ours after the meeting?
I will be more than happy to talk as long as y'all don't try to hold me in here for no long time. But I'll be more than happy to answer some questions after the meeting because it will be a more conducive format for me answering. Okay?
So what's the purpose of finance if we can't ask any questions and get answered? Why have a meeting? What's the purpose?
Thank you for your comment.
I'll wait till after you can answer that one too.
Miss, young lady behind you.
Elected treasurer.
At the opening of every meeting, I introduce myself for those that may not know who I am. Pretty much everybody does. I just want to keep it formal and make sure everybody knows who's talking. Yeah, and I do know this young lady.
All right, so, my name is Aisha Pickett. I am currently the treasurer of the city.
Say it one more time. There's a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know
Currently
that.
the treasurer. I guess, as far as the committee meetings, it was my understanding that they were more so they could be inclusive of the residents. So the fact that we can't ask questions anymore is kind of disheartening because some people have questions that may not be able to be here. And if you answer on a public forum, those questions can be answered rather than people sitting bombarding you guys with the same questions. But that was just my understanding of the committees. My statements, besides questions, I have questions too. But as far as the reimbursements, I did have that horticultural tool did raise eyebrows for me. So I was just wondering if we have any policies and procedures in place for reimbursements, especially for those that the expenses are a little bit on the high end. Do we have anything in place where we're supposed to? I know we're supposed to get approval before we spend it, but is there something in place where those things actually get approved before we actually reimburse people for things like for expensive tools bought on the city's behalf or travel? Just wondering if we have, because I don't really recall any, so I just kind of use my discretion based on other places I work and try to keep it in that realm. But I was just wondering if we had anything in place for that specifically. And I don't know if you guys spoke about this, if I was late, I apologize, but if maybe in the next meeting you guys could explain what the purpose of Montero Group is, because we are paying them large amounts of money, even on the bills list. But it's not really clear why we're paying them, so maybe you could just make a quick explanation, just for the public to know why we're paying Montero Group, or what are their responsibilities, and something like that. That was just my suggested question, I guess. That's it.
Thank you for your comment, man. Appreciate it.
My name is Zerker, and I just like to make a comment. I have alarms going off on the inside of me from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. This thing with this money and this secrecy brings even more attention to the lack of information in which the residents are not able to get on what we're spending the money on. That automatically puts a cloud over all the elected officials that had any part directly or indirectly with passing these things, because you don't know what the money is being spent on. Or if maybe you do know what the money is being spent on. And that just doesn't work. That just does not work. This reminds me of when Eric Kellogg was mayor, okay? So it's like somebody's passing the baton. Okay? The project over there with those little hub houses, that little thing would cost you more than $43,000 to build. Slab concrete foundation, 41 by 23, perimeter on it, 1 story, 43 from $433,000 is $390,000. Where is the rest of the money going to and what is going on? You can go up to Menards, okay, and they will tell you what the materials cost of the shingles, the drywall, the insulation, the electrical tubing, the wiring, the plumbing, everything that was done for that building, even down to the landscape. You all think that people don't understand and know what's going on. If you go to do something and you call yourself being slick, y'all ain't doing a good job. That's my report.
Thank you. Anybody got any other comments?
The only comment that I have is I think that,
Excuse me, sir, what's your name?
Jonathan Johnson. The only comment in which I have is that I think that we're getting it a little like twisted in reference to who the real bosses are in this space.
Thank you.
And I really do believe that the people are now being looked at as being people that are serving the people that are elected officials versus the elected officials looking at it in the sense of you all have been elected to serve. So when we begin to ignore people that are talking, look upside the walls, or ignore people that are actually expressing their sentiments, and they elected you into an office, it begins to raise the eyebrow to the lack of respect that you have for a voter, right? When you run for office, every hand that you shake matters. Every person that you come into contact with should matter. Their opinion about how you run, their opinion about anything, it should matter. But when you get in that seat and you get to looking upside the wall, when the person is talking to you about their tax dollars, or you're ignoring what they're saying, or you can't provide an answer, and you're chairing this committee, and you're refusing to answer questions, and you want everything to come through the mayor, why do we have a chair? We shouldn't have a chair if the mayor has to answer every one of these questions. There's no need. We should just wait for the mayor to come and host this meeting, because he's the one that has to provide the insight and the answers to these questions. Are you a ploy, or are you a person that's just sitting here just to cover and be a person that's taking the hits for the mayor? I don't know what it is, but right now it does not look good to have someone in this seat operating to the capacity of a chair and unable to answer a question about finances that you're going to approve and stamp approval over. You can answer the people that are truly your boss. These individuals, taxpayers in this city, are your boss. These are the people that run this city. So the people that actually are paying your salary, the people that have elected you to sit in that chair, they're the ones you should answer to versus him that has been elected to. He's been elected to sit in that chair just like you all have. So when you begin to have more merit and more honor for him than the people that are paying you, I didn't wonder, is he paying you too? Because it becomes a question. Who's really more important? Is the mayor more important than the citizens? Or is the citizens more important than the mayor? Because right now it just seems like everything has to go through him in order for it to get back to the citizens. And that's not the way that this should work if you're chairing this committee. If you're over the money and you're over chairing the committee and you're responsible for disseminating information, you should be able to give intelligent answers to these people that are asking questions. And when you can't, hey, I'll get back to you on that, and I'll give you an answer to your question. Not, oh no, you gotta go through the mayor, you gotta email the mayor, so he can have a discretion as to if he answers or not. That's not right. And you know that's not right. These people are voting. But if you wanna have people galvanized, have them rally against people that are not really being servants of the people, then that's what you guys are gonna continue to have. When will it stop? Right? When will it stop? When will the people stop asking for things and people get hit with, ask Mayor Clark, ask Mayor Clark, ask Mayor Clark? And he's saying, no, you're out of order. Like, which one is it? You know, we gotta come to some form of order. It has to make sense. And right now, it's not making sense.
Jonathan will
Excuse
say,
me. Thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
I would like to read an excerpt so everybody can know. You can go on the City of Parker's website, and if you go to the, how we're governed underneath the American Publishing Code, underneath ordinance number 3372. Again, ordinance number 3372 says reorganizing standing committees of the City Council of Harvey, Illinois. And I like to read, the Committee on Finance shall have jurisdiction over the expenditure of all funds appropriated and expended by the City of Harvey, provided that nothing herein shall be construed to prevent the sponsor of a proposal from petitioning the City Council directly. The committee shall also have jurisdiction over all matters concerning the organization, reorganization, and efficient management of city government and federal and state legislation and administrative regulations in which the city may have an interest. The committee shall also have jurisdiction over tax levies, industrial revenue bonds, general obligation bonds, and revenue bond programs, developments and matters generally affecting the Department of Finance, the City Comptroller, City Treasurer, and Department of Revenue, and the solicitation of funds for charitable or other purposes on the street and public places. The committee, got a lot of jurisdiction here. The committee also shall have the jurisdiction over all claims under the Illinois Workers' Compensation Act, the condominium, yes, CONDOMINIUM, refuse rebate program, and other pecuniary claims against the city or against funds over the custody of the city treasurer, over the custody. So really, city treasurer, the young lady behind her, she's supposed to actually get a first step into everything. Last time we motioned to send her report to the comptroller, and that should never be, because she's an elected body, all on her own. And so I've read over 6 or 7 jurisdictions that you have. So even in fact, if we can't make a comment, you have all the power, Alderman, chairman of the 6th Ward, to get it done for the betterment of the people.
Right, and I want to piggyback.
Excuse me, sir. Allow her to finish.
Okay.
That is all. Go ahead.
So I wanted
Thank
to piggyback into that because what needs to happen is you have to be very mindful of the fact that when you're dealing with money, people are very crafty, and you will end up being the fall guy since you can't answer questions and you can't fix what you don't know. You end up being the person that take the hit from all of these yeses that we're giving and approving these bills that you haven't seen. And you approve. Yes. And all of a sudden, you done approved something that a buddy of his that already done got paid on, and you done told the committee that approved that, because that's a buddy of his claim, clearly. And you roll with the crew, and then end up, you are incarcerated being the chairman of something. And I want to be absolutely clear. I want to be absolutely clear when I say this, because I want you to really receive what I'm telling you. If you have the jurisdiction and the power, use it. But don't sit back and be someone's puppet.
This is not
It's the platform.
forum
Yes, it
for
is.
that.
It is. This is my
Yes,
comment.
I think we have the
It's my
jurisdiction,
comment.
but what we
It's my
also
comment.
do, we have public comment. I'm not here to answer your question.
That wasn't a question.
Okay?
That was a statement.
You made a statement, which is the same thing as a comment. The exact
But
same
it's
thing,
not a question.
and we are not going to answer questions.
That's not a
So you
question.
can make all the statements that you want to. As a matter of fact, I think everybody has, and we're gonna adjourn this meeting.
He's learning from Clark. You hear that? Attorney. He's learning
The
from his
reason
boss.
why they nobody answer, because he don't know the answer. That's
I'm just trying to be able to
Oh,
say.
okay, so now we just gonna blurt out all over the place.
Yeah,
Instead of, no, we had decorum. No, we had decorum.
You adjourned.
And we were doing things properly, decent and in order, but we're not doing that anymore.
Well,
And I see that. No, not because you walked in, because you started blurting out. No, because you started blurting out.
He was the first one yelling. Nobody else yelled but on him.
It always starts with
I just want to say,
You here
well,
first.
sorry for my
You
childhood,
gotta keep going.
but I just showed you.
Please, allow this gentleman to talk. He allowed you all to talk. Don't interrupt him.
Well, it's okay because, they my servants, so I'm their servant. So they can speak as much as they want to. And the thing about it is that the reason this process keeps going on is like a vicious cycle where questions are not being answered. And I'm not putting you on blast, I'm not putting nobody else on blast, but the thing about it is when we have a meeting, just like we have approval of meetings, we should have approval of committee meetings too, to see, find out, well, last week, such and such asked this question. Now, this week, we're gonna answer the question that was asked last week. Now, the question that was asked today, next council, next committee meeting, the first thing we should talk about is answering those questions that was asked. That way we at least give the people some information, some type of feedback, instead of going through this process of where it's falling on deaf ears, but you did get to speak, but then nobody writing nothing down and say who spoke and what they said and what could be done. I mean, put this way, like I said always, this is the way to do things, and this should be done better.
Good point.
Arthur Keys, thank you for your comment. Motion to adjourn at 6:49.